Hey guys, welcome back to another Salty George. This is part 2 of the rear quarter welding. Right, what we've been doing so far is I've been trying to line up this rear end. It's taken me ages, but I finally got there. I don't have a boot latch, so at the moment I've just got the boot resting on a wire brush, but we have got some nice shut lines down there along the back. Probably wants a slight adjustment just to get as it gets to the end. Now this is where I've been trying to line it up. I've put a little butt welding clamp sat in there just to hold it for me for now, so that we can see what's going on. She seems to line up okay everywhere. Excuse me. There you go. Underneath fine. Now if I get this debris what's it and put that there, typical Ford panels, but never mind. Right, line that up. Line that up. Right, we got a tad fraction high, but obviously that can be slightly adjusted with the boot, with the trunk boot, whatever you want to call it. Same as over here. We've got that okay. Again, that can go up a fraction. I don't have any rubbers on here at the moment, and also the torsion bars for the boot aren't in either. So another thing here, if you notice just this last section, it goes from a, see if I can get a better angle for you. It goes from about here, there where my thumb is. So that now needs to come out to match that. That just needs to be dressed out, but I don't know why that is. What we've got going on up this end, shot lines ain't too bad at all, and obviously when this end gets welded, and up here, this end will lift up just a fraction to meet up inside. Hang on, let's lift up the boot. So this will lift up just a fraction when we bring that up to for this end to meet, etc. So let me just put the boot down. So now you can see how much it was short. At its widest part, you're looking at about 20 mil. Come down to about 10, 15. Yeah, and then in there probably about 20 mil as well, 20 to 25. So yeah, you can see how much they'd cut it short. Right, hang on, come back with you. So if I come up to this end, I've got 794, about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's that? 31¼ inches. If we go over to the other side, there we go, 794 or 31¼ inches. That's banging, man. What I was doing was I measured from the corner of this window here down to this point here, and obviously the same on the other side. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know, but it's given me a really good guide. It may be 1 or 2 millimeters out. I ain't crying over that, considering we were about anything between 10 and 20 and maybe 25 mil out here. So you can see how much that was out. Let's call it 20 mil across the board. Yeah, that would have really shown up, and that would have driven me out the wall. Right, what I've done now is I've made up a couple of pieces. I think what I'm going to do is I've bought myself a joggler, and I am going to use the sort of plug welding rather than butt welding. I've cleaned up, I've got a couple of pieces of this. They're about 25 mil, or about 22 I think. So I'm going to cut about 25 mil gap. Obviously shape these and put them in. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to cut down this one, and then I shall measure from there about 25 mil reposition this tape. Then I can take it off, cut it off, tidy up around where I need to weld, as in, you know, like sort of take off the surface rust, etc. I've got some weldable primer. I shall prime up these two bits as well, so that I can weld through. Yeah, and then start, and then obviously I'll have to realign everything. Hey, never mind. Yeah, and once I've done that, I can start tacking, putting her in place. Job, here we go. Right, that's one side cut. What I've done, I put some tape on here, sprayed some weldable primer, and then I'm just going to cut along that line because it was difficult to see black on black. This is what I was on about. I'm just going to tidy up around here, grind with a flap disc, and then put weldable primer on there, and just tidy up around here, etc. You know, just grind off, etc. That'll be fine, that'll be lovely. And then I should put weldable primer all the way round, and then I shall grind on the inside of these edges, as it were, as well, where it needs to be tacked against there. So yeah, here we go. Sorted, George. Lovely. Right, what I've got to do now is just tidy up that edge, put some weldable primer on it, and then I should do the same around here, just grind that back, same along this edge, and just sort of tidy up on the inside of there as well. So yeah, so George, here we go. Well, that's given all the edges a nice clean up down here, along the bottom, round the side, underneath the wheel arch, yada yada yada. Obviously along the bottom here and in there. So what I'm going to do now is just give it a bit of weldable primer around the edge, and then whilst that's drying, I'm going to go off and do the most important thing, which is have a cup of tea. Sort of, George. Everything's had a coat that needs to have a coat now, which is good. Oh, focus, here we go. There you go, that's better. Yeah, everything's had a coat along the edges, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, all I need to do now is put the recorder back on and line it up. And then I can start messing about, tack welding, etc. Yeah, sort of, George, here we go. It's what you could do with 2 pairs of hands. Right, what I'm going to do, just to show you, that's tucked up in that corner there, and that is 795 to the corner. And this side, the original side, is 795. There you go. So, jobbed. That's that lined up. I'm really pleased about that. That was quick. Also, because I didn't touch the boot, didn't touch the trunk lid, I've still got my shut lines. And let me just go and put this on. Now, if I fit that on as it should be. Bloody pot metal was rubbish. Never mind. Yeah, there you go. That's jobbed, and that. And this piece here is this corner has actually been pushed in just a tad. Just starts to come in from about here. So knowing the Ford tolerances, which weren't all that fantastic, because they were all hand built, yeah, that's a heck of a lot better than being that short. So yeah, we've got some nice shut lines here as well. So I'm pleased about that. That's all lining up. Right, let's start mucking about, shall we, with some tack welds. Right, we've got a few tack welds going on, as you do. I've put some hole punched some holes down the side there. We got some tack welds going on underneath on the wheel arch, so that's all in place, which is good. This is all in place now. Give that a good pull. I've put a few tack welds up underneath here and up on top here. I've also done a few, yeah, here. Already ground them out. Another one over there. Sorry about the camera work. Yeah, so at the moment, that's all that lot all tacked in place, so she ain't going to come off, which is good. Yeah, so at least we now know that measures up correctly. Like I say, they've cut this off first, and then they've gone down to a scrapyard and cut that off, come home and gone, oops. So yeah, you can imagine being that much short where the boot closes. Wrong, no good. Right, time to go home. I'll crack on with this tomorrow. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Next day, right, what we're doing, I've put a bit of a, twist, bend, whatever, started to shape that against this to fit in here. Like I say, I've put some, punched some holes in there for some plug welds, just started to shape this. I'm going to need to cut across there and across there, because obviously it's at an angle. Yeah, sorted. Well, let's crack on. Right, so I've got this piece in place. Obviously, you know, it's going to need to be pushed in from behind, etc., which I've had my lovely assistant wife here, Sarah. She's here to help me. So yeah, I'm just going to start plug welding down this side. She's going to push from behind so that we get a good join, basically, you know, like here, so it'll be nice and tight. She's going to push all the way down, and then I was in two minds of going down like that, but I think it'll be easier to do that side first, and then I can manipulate that side onto it. Yeah, sorted, George. Right, here we go. Hey guys, I'm going to have to call it there on part 2. I don't know whether it's my generator that's just decided to go belly up, or whether it's the welder. I'm going to take the welder home with me and try it at home through mains electric rather than generator. But I was getting good penetration using the generator. And I'm not now. The welds just want to sit on top. That ain't no good. Literally weld, the bead sits on top, and you can just peel it off with a pair of pliers. I'm not getting any penetration whatsoever. So need to suss out what's going on. So we'll call it as a part 2, and let's see what happens in part 3. Talk to you later. Well, I'm now home in the shed. I've just had a quick go with the welder and I've just literally gone zap, zap, zap. That's pretty good penetration there. I'm pleased with that. Messing about, and I just turned it over on a rusty bit, and that was even a good penetrative weld there as well. So I think it's my generator that doesn't obviously want to put out the amperage that the welder needs to pull. But not anymore anyway. I mean, it was fine to start with. Just don't want to know. Never mind. Right, Sort of George. See you in part 3.